At the beginning of the Dreamtime, the land was flat and dry and mostly empty. It was ruled by the mighty kangaroos, who were known as the Yonka. Their great dark brown legs worked to protect the soil from all evil spirits and secured harmony amongst all the animals, from the goanna to the wedge-tailed eagle, for thousands of years. One dark day, however, not even the Yonka could protect its people from the Yowie of the white sheep, who were also known as the Kookenjeri. Emerging from beneath the waters, the Kookenjeri had conquered the Yonka's land. They destroyed the bush for grass in which they grazed and used their murderous weapons to kill thousands of animals. They introduced their own sheepish ways of living and began forcibly taking young Yonka children who had a sheep parent to be brought up in a Kookenjeri household. These were known as the stolen kangaroos. Monty, a young Boori, was stolen at the age of 7 by Copper Sheep under the order of Neville Fox, who was the protector of ugly sheep. They took him to a farmhouse to live with a new Kookenjeri family. Unlike his Kookenjeri family, Monty was part Yonka, and while he had the sheep coat of a Kookenjeri, he had the tail and legs of a Yonka. This made him ugly. "Monty the ugly half-roo," his brothers would tease. "You messy boy, you ugly sheep, look at your big chunky feet," his sisters would add. Monty was forced to attend sheep school, where he learned about things he deemed to be useless. But the thing Monty hated the most about life at the Kookenjeri farm was that he was not able to practice his own Yonka traditions and culture. One day, Monty accidentally spoke Noongar at school, and when he was told off by his brothers and sisters, he received a whipping from his Kookenjeri mother. Another day, when Monty carved a gidgee, which is a spear, he was forced to snap it in half himself. Monty had had enough. That night, when the sun set, Monty left the farm. He ran as fast as his Yonka legs could carry him, his feet bouncing amongst the red desert sand. He finally stopped when he saw a mob of wild Yonka sleeping together and decided to stay the night with them. In the morning, when the wild Yonka rose in the air, they stared at him. "What Yonka are you, mate?" they all said, coming around him. He bowed to them and was polite as he could be, but he did not reply to the question. "You sure are an ugly bungie, eh? But you can be a part of our mob," said the leader of the group. But before Monty could reply, a pop-pop sounded in the air, and the two wild Yonka fell dead among the broom bush. Pop-pop echoed far and wide in the distance. The sound continued from every direction, for the Kookenjeri surrounded them. "You filthy roos!" they screamed. The blue smoke from the guns rose like evil spirits over the Bulgar, and as it floated away, a number of their sporting dingoes bounded in among the bushes, which bent beneath them wherever they went. How they terrified Monty! He turned away his head to hide it under his wool, and at the same moment a terrible dingo passed quite near him. His jaws were open, his tongue hung from his mouth, and his eyes glared fearfully. He thrust his nose close to the child, showing his sharp teeth, and then he ran away without touching him. "Oh," sighed Monty, "how thankful I am for being so ugly. Not even a dingo will bite me." When the gunshots began to die down, Monty continued moving on the hot surface of the Budjarra. He was constantly fearful of a copper truck coming to catch him, and he was beginning to get very thirsty. A koala named Kira, who sat on top of a tall gum tree, saw Monty's discomfort and minted itch. "Oi, ugly sheep," she called down to Monty. "Look at how I drink water." Kira then demonstrated herself taking a gum leaf and sucking it until all of the leaf's liquid was gone. "You try," she said, as she chucked Monty a gum leaf. However, Monty's oddly shaped face was not able to suck the gum leaf like Kira could. Ah, how I wish I could be a koala like you. I could live in a tree and hide my ugliness from the world, and would never be thirsty again, Monty said. Monty began losing hope of finding a home in water, as an evil spirit consumed him. Mr. Neville, shaped like a giant devil fox, whispered in Monty's ear with a fiery breath.
It is time to go back to the farm. Go back to your Kookenjeri parents. Go back, Monty. Go back, you ugly sheep.
Monty listened to the evil spirits and began moving, drinking his own tears for water, forgetting his past, his culture, his faith, until the rainbow serpent, like a shining light, came from beneath the heavens to point Monty in the direction of a billabong nearby. Running, Monty followed the stunning serpent and drank half of the entire stream. As he looked into his reflection, expecting to see his ugly face, he saw his mother and father, his real mother and father, a Yonka and a Kookenjeri. Monty was happy. He was home.